We talked, when these cards were coming out, and I think we literally said the only thing they have to do is have product or something along those lines. I don't have the actual quote, but it was like it's got to be close to that, whatever it was we actually said.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not like as competitive as we're hoping, as long as they like can sell it, we'll be fine. We'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
And they responded not necessarily to us, but to the community in general, that we're all having the same concerns. We were not unique in saying this in any way.
Nope.
They responded by essentially saying like, yeah, not going to be a problem. We got this. This launch is going to be way better than the 3000 series. No issues. There'll be tons of cards. You can get what you need, right? Well, turns out that didn't really happen. The launch was much more of a paper launch than anything else. We had big lineups outside of stores of people unable to get things. It seems like several retailers, including Best Buy USA, B&H Photo and Video, which does sell this kind of stuff, and Memory Express in Canada, reported receiving exactly 0, which is awesome, with no indication of when they would be receiving any either. AMD's own site, along with retailers that did have cards such as Newegg and Micro Center, sold out within minutes of sales going live. Of course, unsurprisingly, eBay has a ton. This is in spite of AMD's reassurances that supply would be good. Like I said earlier, they did totally say that. And Anthony even has a note here. This is the one thing they had to get right. And that is legitimately true. Yep. These cards could have been like not even that great, and it still would have been a very successful launch if they at least had them at all. And they did.
This is exactly the kind of marketing bullcrap that drives me crazy.
And we talked about this a lot last show.
All AMD had to say was supplies are going to be really limited. And we would have been like, okay.
At least we know.
Just give us the right expectations. I get
no,
it.
Guys. No, we're good.
I get it.
We got tons of cards.
I get it. Like it's there's only so many 7nm like wafers, okay? There's only so much 7nm to go around, and everyone wants it. Everyone wants a piece of the 7nm. I mean, even AMD has competition between their own business units for who gets the 7nm at this point. I'm sure the data center business unit wants it all for, upcoming server chips, and I'm sure the gaming business unit wants to just pump out, or CPU gaming, wants to pump out Ryzen's all day, and I'm sure that the graphics division is like, please, I know we sucked for the last few years, but please, we deserve a chance. And there's, I get it.
And really, unfortunately for them, that was not the only issues. There were some other issues.
Microsoft and Sony, they want some 7nm. They want some 7nm up in this biz.
They want a lot of 7nm.
Yeah, like I get it. But like, just say that, or just delay it. Just say like, look, we weren't happy with how much stock we had. We delayed it. Fine. I can accept that. That's a good guy, AMD.
Or you can just be honest and just be like, we're not happy with the amount of stock we have, but we want to launch it now. So like, it's going to be tough to get, but we're going to do our best to like try to keep it out of scalpers' hands, which is not entirely possible,
Basically
but we will do what we can.
Yeah.
Et cetera, and then just try to move on from there. That's all fine. There were also some issues. Ray tracing performance was abominable. The lack of tensor core equivalence means that fans of NVIDIA's RTX voice and broadcast software will have to stay green for now.
Yep.
Although I haven't heard way too much about RTX voice in a while. Have you?
I mean, you don't really have to hear much about it to know that it's like pretty cool. I don't think it's really changed much.
I don't think it's not cool. I just, I don't know.
The news is just kind of past, I think.
Yeah.
This is great. Courageous Potato on Floatplane says, now I'm picturing AMD execs playing poker with 7nm wafers. Totally right.
The RTX one is just like strung out at the end of the table. Like, come on, guys, I got to win this game.
I mean, they're worth their weight in gold, basically, right? You think about it. Like,
I mean, probably more than that.
There is no AMD, literally every Ryzen CPU they could possibly make would fly off a shelf right now. Like, the more you can make, the more money you make. You're not constrained by anything else, marketing, distribution, pricing. You are constrained by how many of these bloody things you can crank off of the production line. And the reality of it is that for everyone out there saying, Intel's doomed, AMD's got them by the balls now, that's something Intel has, for better or for worse, is lots and lots and lots of 14 nanometer wafers.
Whole ton of them, probably more than they want.
So, you know, Intel's going to keep selling CPUs until AMD figures out either a big investment in TSMC so that TSMC can literally build out production that is guaranteed for AMD. Apple has invested heavily in TSMC. It's no accident that Apple got all of the 5 nanometer right out of the gate. Or they're going to have to go back to having their own fabs, which I honestly don't see ever happening again. I just don't think I don't think it's possible. NVIDIA showed the world that you can be a top tier chip company without ever owning a fab. And AMD has now shown the world that you can come back from owning your own fabs to right back on top without owning your fabs. So, yep. I think it's just going to be the Samsung TSMC show for the foreseeable future until some of the Chinese fabs that are starting to catch up actually get there. Oh, also Intel and Intel. What else we got? What else is going on here? For those who receive your cards, there are a few niche advantages to look forward to. The reset bug that has long plagued virtualization enthusiasts has been fixed. Oh, that's cool. That was a big problem for us on 7 gamers, 1 CPU. If one of the VMs crashed, I had to restart the entire host machine. And it was really unstable, so it cost me a lot of time, a lot of hair pulled out. Overall support in Linux appears to be solid, and you can enable rage mode for the memes. Anthony notes,
I really love this.
They should add a feature to immediately quit out of a game, like a button on the graphics card, and call it rage quit.
It should have some animation that comes up, and it should delete the desktop icon for the game or something.
Or it could still be an overclocking feature, and it could just intentionally overclock your card too far, so the whole system
just crash you out.
Intentionally crash your own computer.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is it's the best time to buy a gaming PC and also the worst time to buy a gaming PC. There is compelling hardware out there. Just good luck getting your hands on any of it.
Yeah.
Ryzen 5000, RTX 3080. That sounds pretty flippin' good. Can't get it.
When was the last time we had, I feel like it's been a long time. Maybe I'm totally wrong here, but when's the last time we had these types of paper launches?
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's been a super long time.
So in fairness,
where they're all basically so for people that are what are you talking about? When a product is announced, but it doesn't really exist, or in this case where it exists, but it's basically only scalpers getting it.
Unobtainium.
There are some products in the way past which were launched, but I think literally nothing existed from them. These are not quite that, but
not since 600 series from NVIDIA, or a 600 series, if I recall correctly, had pretty good availability and was not so much more compelling than 580 that it was flying off the shelf to the degree that I suspect RTX 3000 is. I think there's two things that happened here. One is NVIDIA launched RTX 3000 and made it very, very appealing from a price to performance standpoint. And I think NVIDIA really does have a lot of wafers. They just cannot make enough of these things. Then AMD walked into a bit of an unusual situation for them. One, they had a product that was actually competitive, so that's going to drive demand up. Two, they walked into a marketplace where there's this pent-up demand for a graphics card, any graphics card, because people, their neighbor or friend or gaming buddy or whatever has an RTX 3000 and they're still running some, pleb 780 or 770 that this is the moment. They're ready to pull the trigger and there's nothing to freaking buy. and they would have bought an AMD one, and they'll go if they can find it, they'll go out and do it. And so AMD is walking into two things: they're competitive for the first time in forever, and there's this pent-up demand in the market that we haven't seen in forever because people haven't been that excited. New GPUs come and it's like, yep, well, you can pay more and it's faster. But this is different. Now you're paying less and it's way faster. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. And like I genuinely think a very large amount of people skipped 2000 series. So there's a lot of like enthusiast 1000 series owners that like would normally buy a new card, but then saw 2000 series come out and we're just kind of like,
even
so
1,
now they want something new.
Even 1000, 980 Ti was like, remember how long we were using 900 series cards in like high-end Scrapyard Wars builds and stuff? Yeah. Like, they're a good value even now.
Yeah, 1000 series was a pretty nice jump for VR, but if you didn't care about that, yeah, it was kind of